Sniper, Uber, Sniper,
What's
Uber.
good, fam? Welcome to the Skate Mob Podcast. We about to take the streets by storm. Get ready to hang out with us. From tricks to trips and everything in between. We'll be talking to pros, amateurs, and beginner skaters. Sharing stories, hyping up the community. Whether you're a seasoned skater or just getting started. Or we could just chat. So buckle up, stay tuned, it's about to get real.
We are Gucci. The record button. Just see when you doing everything by yourself, it's fucking hard. Hitting the record button, not hitting the record button. Let's go. Today I got a special guest, Hector Rodriguez, up in the building. Bronx native. Get in contact with people that live in New York City is definitely hard. Everybody is doing something. And today, early morning session, I'm gonna hit up Hector Rodriguez, and we're gonna talk some skate shit. Regular basic stuff. If you guys don't know Hector Rodriguez, I got his number. We're gonna give him a call right now and just talk some shit. Let's go. What's his number? All right, got it. Copy. Let's go. Let's go. Better pick up that phone, kid. You.
Hello.
Yo, what's up? Heck,
Hey, what's up, bro?
we are live. We are in the building, and good morning.
Good morning.
Yo, yo. Before I gave you a call, I had to do it like 3 times just to get like the pre-recording going. Missing the
Really?
yeah. What's
Oh,
up,
that's
Hector?
hilarious. Not much. Just over here working on some bracelets.
Nice.
What are you up to?
Recording you. You live on the Skate
No
Mob
problem.
podcast.
Am I really? Hey,
Yeah,
what's
you
going
definitely
on?
live. I was just
So,
mentioning that it's so hard to get in contact with people that that work full time in in New York City and try to skate at the same time. So
yeah,
I'm so happy that we could talk this morning about skate stuff and just talk our shit.
yeah, definitely. We tried to do this how many times already? I think we tried to get together to film this. What? Oh my God. I think it was 2 times already, right? We had to reschedule.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
was
yeah.
2 times. Yeah, it was 2 times. I remember that. We were trying to get this in, but now we finally have the time. And what's going on? How is it? Man, I've been out of the game for so long now. I've
Been
been
out the
out.
game. You've been out the game where
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
training yourself. You're on the low because
Well,
you left me a
well,
message
I'm
saying
always
that.
skating.
Yeah,
Well, I'm always skating. I teach rollerblading, so I'm always with the kids. I'm always showing them cool stuff. And then when they get nice enough, in my private lessons, like the other day, I was on the West End by that long rail on 70th Street. I think it's on 70th or something like that, but it's definitely down there. And they have some nice rails down there. They built a giant kink rail. They got this long handicap rail. I was with a private class, and I saw these two nice handicap rails, and I got the itch. I was like, "Oh, let me see if I can still jump on it." And I did some cool transfer. I did pour into like transfer royale, like 540 out, and it felt amazing. My student looked at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could do this. This is what I do when I'm not teaching classes." I mean, it really dawned on me. I was like, "Man, I really need to come back," because I've been working every day from Monday to Friday, and I got my son. My son's 12 now, so he's a handful. I got to keep him safe, and just trying to make time to do everything. But I have been skating. I have been, this is what I do. So I'm always on my wheel. So I'm always in the rhythm of rollerblading. As far as throwing making sessions, I just haven't had the time at all. Like literally haven't had the time. Like by the time I get home after giving my energy to like 15 other students, those little kids, they tucker you out, man. They're pulling on your arms. It's like, come over here, coach. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. Do a jump. They're always making requests of me and stuff like that. So, it could be tiring. And then when I get home, I got my son full blast, like, Dad, let's do this. And he's playing his Fortnite game. And he's like, Dad, look at this, look at that. And I got to chaperone him everywhere. So yeah, like things have been a little hectic, but I have been rollerblading. Definitely staying on my basics. I'm dying to make some sessions. It's just that I fell out of the loop. I deleted Facebook because Facebook just got weird after a while. I'm on the gram. That's all I have left now as far as like social media stuff. And for those who have my number, they have it, so they can call me whenever.
Nice,
But
nice.
like they have, like,
Yeah, for sorry to interrupt you, but for people that don't
no,
know
totally.
Hector, for people that don't know Hector Rodriguez, Hector is actually a staple from the Bronx, and people locally and maybe abroad, maybe should abroad, know who you are. Um, I'm actually watching your skate video that we did a couple years back, maybe like 2, 3 years ago at Jefferson Skate Park,
Nice.
and I don't know if that was like your last edit, but I don't think it got the recognition that it needed to be, But you know what? This guy did some sick motherfucking tricks that you got to look up on it. Um, so Hector, let's get more into who you are. So where did you grow up, and what influenced you in skating? Like, when did it all start?
Well, well, when I was a kid, I lived in the Bronx. I was always in the Bronx. I was born in Brooklyn, and then I was
Brooklyn.
raised here in the Bronx. But when I was about, I would say about, hold on, let me turn my notifications off because they're starting to
Yeah, they know
message
they,
me.
they know
But
you on there. They know you on the phone with hype.
you know,
So you
all
was born
right.
in Brooklyn
So
and raised in the Bronx. Let's go.
yeah, raised in the BX, and when I was about 8 years old, I was in front of my building, and I was with my sister. Uh, I was with my younger sister. She was tiny at the time. She was probably like about maybe like 2 years old at the time. And my mom and my dad did all in front of the building because it was a local neighborhood thing. Everybody hung out in front of the building. So it was one summer, and I was outside in front of the building like everybody did back in the '90s.
What part?
And
What
this
part? What
kid,
part of the Bronx?
that would be uptown on the two train, like pretty much uptown, like on Allenton Avenue. Pretty
Okay.
much right up the block, like right in that same area where Allenton Skate Park is now, like pretty much a few blocks away from there. So way before Allenton Skate Park was ever invented. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Early
so
early two
I
thousand maybe
saw this
nineties.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nineties.
yeah. I saw this guy like literally flying down the street. Like he was going so fast with his skates.
Mm-hmm.
And he had these cool skates on that were all black. And I remember he had long hair and the hair was just waving. It was like something out of an anime. Like I had that visual. Like it was, whoa, this dude's going super fast. And he's literally flying, like literally flying down the block. Like in other words, he's trying to get there in a hurry. Like wherever he's going is, so to me, it was really intense. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, yo, what, that's rollerblades? Like, that's crazy. So I begged my mom for the entire year. I was like, Mom, please, I need to get these
Nice.
rollerblades. I need to, please. She doesn't want to get me, she didn't want me to get hurt. She was just like, no, you're going to get hurt. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. And then I had convinced my friends to convince their parents to get them rollerblades too. Because I had a group of friends that, the parents used to babysit me while my parents were at work. So I had my friend Jonathan and my friend Diego. And those two kids right there were like the only two kids I hung out with in the neighborhood because both their parents had babysitted me at the time, while my parents were working. So
You
I
got
grew
you
up
got
with
them.
them,
You got them into
birthday
skating.
parties.
Did you get them
Yeah,
into?
I got them definitely. Yeah, I
Nice.
got them into skating, and I got them to convince their parents. So I guess all the parents huddled up. And the next Christmas, when I turned 9, I got my first pair of rollerblades. And I remember
Nice. Which ones?
they were lightnings. They were lightnings. They had like
Mm-hmm.
no. As a matter of fact, no, I didn't get the lightnings until later. They were rollerblades, but they were spirit blades. They
Spirit.
were like
Spirit.
some regular
Okay.
recreational skates. They were shiny. They had like turquoise wheels. It was cool. Like I had skates. I was like, oh, I got skates. Like you know what I mean. So as soon as I went to the front of the building, just straight busted my ass and fell in love with it. I was like, this is awesome. And
Wait.
then
So
one
nobody.
day,
So
like,
so you
huh?
just learned. So you just learned from that guy speeding down real fast. You just
Well,
got space
well,
skates.
that influenced me. But
Okay.
then,
Yeah.
since I had convinced my other friends to get skates too, all we wanted to do was go downhill. So we would get together during the day, like just a bunch of little kids. Like now, you probably couldn't do that. You probably get kidnapped now. But a bunch of little fucking 9-year-olds out in the street doing 76 Hill, right there on the block doing Dead
Mm-hmm.
Man's Hill, just trying to get our hills up.
In the
And
Bronx.
we didn't even know about aggressive inline. I
Yeah.
didn't know about aggressive inline yet
Mm-hmm.
because I just saw that guy once, and I never saw, and I hadn't seen him for about, I would say about a year or about a year and a half, like because I had to convince my mom, get me some skates, yada yada yada. And
Spirits.
then by the
Shouts to
next Christmas,
spirits.
yeah, Spirit Blades. Those are old fucking skates, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
still got them. I believe They still have them out there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I like
But
to see that. I gotta look those up.
yeah. So they were black and they were shiny and they had like turquoise wheels. They were really
Hmm.
cool, and I really liked them. Like they were awesome. So all right. So a year later, my friends started like stop. They didn't really skate like that. We got a little bit a little bit older. We were about 10, 11. Then I saw the dude again. Like I saw the dude again, and I followed him. Like
With
literally
the
like a
spirit
little
blades. Let's go.
ninja. I with the spirit blades, a little kid. I followed this grown
Okay.
ass man. Well, to me, it was a grown ass man. He was
Hmm.
probably a teenager at the time, probably like 12, 13. But I followed him, and I followed him to a legendary spot
Wait. Did you
in the
follow him like
Bronx.
purposely, or did you follow him
No,
like?
purposely. Hell yeah,
Okay.
I followed him. I
Did,
wanted to know where this guy was going.
did he
I
know
had
where
to
you were
know.
going? Did he know where you were going? I
No,
mean,
he
did he
didn't
know?
know I was behind him.
Okay. All
That
right.
dude was dude. That dude, the dude's name was Dennis, and he
Okay.
still lives in my area too. But he used to go with speed, like you know how you would go if somebody
Yeah, I
was
know.
filming you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this dude was like a live action movie when he was skating. So I had
Mm.
to follow this fucking guy. So I followed him, and I ended up in the legendary spot Transfer, which was right up the block from my house, and I had no idea what it was.
Okay.
And that was transfer rails that were right across the street in the Bronx, where is the New York City housing. They used to call it Rain back in the day because
Okay.
that was the name on the side of the thing. And it's literally right across the street from 135 School in the Bronx. Like PS 135 is literally right across the street. It's that big building, and all those ledges that are there now that have a fence built into it. They used to be ledges. And when I followed him there, and I looked around that corner, and I looked at that spot, yo, there was like hundred, not in my over exaggeration right now, but there was probably like 20 or 30 skaters there. But in my mind, it was like hundreds of people.
Ah,
You had people
in
in
the
wide
Bronx.
leg jeans. You had girls in wide leg jeans. You had dudes in wide leg jeans. And
Nice.
that's when the wide leg jeans used to be really cool. Like you
Yeah.
remember they used to have the pipe
Janko.
jeans, Janko. Yeah, man. They used to have all those. And the Parasuco jeans also. Like
Mm.
Parasuco jeans were very popular
So
then
that
because they had the
elevated,
stripes down the side.
the elevated
Hmm.
oil thing right there.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
man. So right there, as soon as I got there, I saw that world, and I'm like, "Whoa,
Mm.
what is this?" And that's when I got introduced to aggressive inline. I was like, "This is
Allerton.
dope."
Shouts to Allerton.
Yeah, yeah.
Allerton
Right
Avenue
there, I
in the
saw it, and I
Bronx.
was like, "Oh
We got
my
some
god!" I
Allerton
was,
cats up there. The old skate key used to be out there in Allerton Avenue. That's probably why that was a little
yeah.
coming
That is
together.
the old exactly. The old skate key
Mm.
was literally right across the street from transfer. It was
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
right
yeah.
across the street. I never got to go. My mother never let me go because I didn't own skates at the time.
Hmm.
So she didn't want me to go in there because I guess at the time the older teenagers were causing problems. I guess that's why they closed it down. I had
Yeah.
no idea. But yeah,
Yeah, I get
that's
it.
where the main
Bronx is
motivation
not a
was. Yeah.
safe neighborhood. Skating in the Bronx,
Yeah.
you had to have a crew, you had to have people around you and all that stuff. You got to come back
One
early.
thousand
You know what I
percent.
mean? And
One thousand percent. Yeah.
I'm sure you came from a great family, to keep you home and all that stuff. Um,
Mm.
you know, that's fucking fire.
Yeah, I remember that. I'll never forget that. And then skating there.
Wait, I
A
forgot.
few years later.
I forgot to.
Oh yeah, God.
I forgot to mention this. So you was with your crew. So did you
No,
have
no, no. I was by
you was
myself
by
because at
yourself?
the time they stopped skating. They all they wanted to do was hills. They weren't really skating. They didn't get. In other words, they didn't get influenced like I did.
Yeah.
They didn't see the guy I did. They didn't see him flying down the block. I was the one that started that hype on in my neighborhood and got them all on blades.
I usually ask all my guests, did you have a crew back in the day? Like, what was the name
Oh
of the crew?
no, no. That's this. Here's where the story gets interesting. So one day I'm right around the corner. I was at the store with my skates, and I like to do cartwheels. I developed this. Yeah, dude, I developed this cartwheel. Like I was able to cartwheel on skates. It was so weird. I
Yeah,
was able
that's
to cartwheel
hilarious.
and sort of do it. Yeah, and I still do it. I'm pretty sure there's a few of you
On
in
the
the game have
spirits.
saw me. Yeah, on the stairs. And here's the twist. I'm doing it off a 4 set of stairs.
Mm.
So at this point, I'm at the corner store right around the corner from where the skate spot is, doing cartwheels off the stairs. And that's what I'm doing. And then Jason Swaby.
I remember Jason Swaby.
Jason Sway and his crew.
Okay.
That was his team. Like they were coming down the block. And it was him,
Ah.
it was Jacob, and I believe it was Peter Ortiz, if I'm not mistaken. They were all together. It's all the original. Let me tell you, they were. I don't think Peter Ortiz was there yet. I didn't meet Peter Ortiz until later on. But Sway came up and he saw me like, yo, and this is word for word. And I called him, yo, this kid is doing cartwheels off the stairs. And he's like, oh, and then the other people in this crew like, nah, leave him. He's a wreckery. That's what they used to call us back in the day. When you didn't know how to skate, they would call you a wreckery. You know what I mean? So that's the word that was getting slung around. Like
Was that the
they would
beginning?
straight up.
Was that the
It was
beginning of
called Recre.
Was that the beginning of
That's
Happy Feet? So where'd you get
no,
that
no,
name
no, no,
Happy
no,
Feet
no, no,
from?
no, 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 no. Happy. That's way though. But hold up, wait, let me finish this one though. Um, so Recre is what they would call you. So he's like, no, there's a Recre. So Sway, which is Jason Sway, he told them like, nah, this kid is dope. Let's bring him with us. So he like adopted me into his third eye squad that he had already, you know what I'm saying, established with him and his
Third
crew,
Eye. I remember
which
that.
was, yeah, which was the local crew in the area. Like
Ah,
they
shouts to
all lived
Third
in the
Eye.
area.
Okay. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I
So
remember that.
Sway, yeah, yeah. So Sway, he adopted me into that, and they took me under their wing, and that's how I learned aggressive inline. So all my little adventures, like in the beginning, was with Sway and everybody. Then when I got a little bit better, because in those days they would make fun of you and troll you until you got good. So if you
Yeah.
weren't good,
Straight New
you'd
York
get the
vibe. Straight
business. Yeah,
Bronx.
you get the business. Yeah, man, you get the business. So I was kind of like crash coursed into skating because I was really bad at it. I didn't know anything. I was just a beginner trying to be a follower until I learned how to be a leader. You understand what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like in the beginning when you learn, you start as a follower, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be humble, listen, watch people skate, act like a child. You're still like a teenager. You know, at that point, I was already pushing like I was already like 13, like you know what I mean, 14, like around there. So you know, you're a teenager, you're into other stuff, different type of things. You know, you're getting in trouble, you're running around gangs and doing all stupid shit, you know, and not focusing. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
that was the beginning, and then when I got a little bit better, and to myself, you know, it all came down to my parents uh, having picnics at Malali Park. Like they would literally picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the next step right now. So this is the next step after transfer and all that.
You
Is the
went to
picnics at
Malali's.
Malali
Shout
Park.
out to people in
Yes,
Malali's.
and that's when I met Ramel. That's when I met Mikey Cancel. Rest in peace. That's when I met a lot of people. I met who else did I meet there? I met, oh my God,
And I'm
I
sure
met
you didn't have
Chauncey there.
I'm sure you didn't
I
have
met
the spirit
everybody.
states out there.
I literally no. In those days, yeah, I actually did
You
know.
still
In
had
fact,
them?
I had a similar because in those days you could just take the middle wheels out your skates and literally make a groove. So in those days, like you can have aggressives, like you know what I'm saying.
So
Before
it
you
was like
had like
early 99, maybe
yeah,
2000. Okay.
yeah. And then Models came out with the RB Deluxe. And the RB Deluxe,
Yeah, you
I
got those
fucking
fire
saw them
skates
shits.
right now.
Yeah, I saw them shits. I was like,
Let's go,
woo!
Heck.
You know, the lightnings I had eventually was like a hand me down from a friend that they didn't fit. They were like a size 14 that I got to really try a pair of lightnings. But when I had the RB Deluxe, those were my first real aggressive skates that were
Mm.
like mine. They were my size. Way before I got into, you know, Razor came out with all that other shit, you know, and that's when I met, you know, Ramel and everybody. And that's when I started, that's when I met real skaters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Shouts.
these dudes compete. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Like these dudes
Oh,
kick ass.
you
Like I
met a
remember watching
wait, wait,
Mikey.
but you coming from Allerton Avenue all the way to 161st Yankee Stadium,
Yeah,
Malali.
once it's
That's a
first
different
because my
neighborhood.
parents, you know why? Because my dad and my sister loved to play handball, and there's a handball court right across the
Ah,
street
okay.
before they made the parking lot. So
Oh, you
when
came you
I met
came
Mikey,
through.
I met Ralphie, I even met Figs. I think I met
Yeah.
no Figs. Danny Figs, I met him because he skated around
Oh,
my area with Larry and
you're
a lot
talking
of other
about
cats that
high
used to skate.
rollers right now. Big
Yeah,
time
yeah, yeah. Like
skaters
I
from New
remember
York.
when we were all young. We were all young, and Mikey. I used to watch
Mm.
Mikey like crazy. He used to hit the little mini bird when Malali had the mini bird, and I used to just study their moves. Like, yo, those wheels he got are awesome, and you know what I'm saying. And then um, there were times where I was there by myself, and there was lots of skaters that I don't even know their names, and I don't even know. I even watched skaters get robbed
Yeah, it was a big fan club.
by
Hmm.
other skaters. And this is yo, they used to come up like, yo, fam, let me try your skates on. Yo,
Yeah.
you want something from
Welcome
the
to the
store,
Bronx.
bro? Yep, straight up. And it was crazy. Like you
Yeah.
see that type of stuff all the time. And it's like me, I was never like that. So I always used to be protected. No one ever really messed with me because I don't know. I kind of guess I had that like I guess had that little innocent side of me, like I was like a little child in the mind. So it's like they never really considered me as a victim or nothing like that. More like a person trying to learn, because I would fucking pick their brains. I'd be like, yo, how do you do this? How do
A
you do that? How do you do this?
little heck doing cartwheels on
There's
skates.
one dude named Ruben that is a real it's a real I could remember him a lot because Ruben, he had burgundy Rossi skates. and he used to. I hope I got his name right, bro. But if you're out there and you're listening, I remember you, bro. You had burgundy skates. He was a Spanish dude, and we used to jump the fence when Malali Park used to close, and he was the first dude that put me onto the pool. They used to have the secret area in the back. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying? At
remember
Malali
that.
Park, they used to have the pool area,
Yep.
and that's the first time I saw the pool. And that's where I met Ninja. I met Ninja. Shout out to Ninja, bro. Oh my God. That's another dude that's like, I would never forget him. I remember when I first met him, this is a true story. I met him at Malali Park. I'm like, who the hell is this old man? Like, this is
Well,
crazy.
you call Ninja
He
an
looked,
old man when you started.
yeah, he
when
looked
you
old
started
then.
skating.
No, he looked old then.
He was
Looked
probably
old
like in
then.
2 videos back in the day before
That's
he
what I'm
even.
saying, yo. He
Let's
came
go,
up to
Ninja.
me and he was like, yo, I was like, I'm going to the store. You want something to drink? Because he was a skater, so I was friendly to everybody. If you walked into the park and you were a skater, I embraced you. Like, oh, you do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's hang out. So I took him to the cafe up the block because I was getting something. He said he wanted a coffee. I bought him a coffee. This dude literally poured half the sugar. Like, you know those big glasses of sugar? He poured half the sugar, and I watched him in the coffee, mixed it around, and drank the whole thing. Later, we we bombed the hill because the hill's fucking awesome. You know the hill that leads into Malali Park when you're going down that?
Yeah.
It's awesome. If you guys have ever been to Malali Park, you guys know about that infamous hill that leads you right into the block under the train station.
This
So
is
when we get
definitely
there,
a
yo,
Bronx
the
talk.
moment we get there, and this is 100% accurate because I seen it with my own eyes. This motherfucker inward Misties into the big pool. Inward Misty flip. Like he didn't jump out and Misty. He went in. Like he died. He head dove first shot and landed it. I was like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy. And then that's how I understood why they called him Ninja. And then he just commenced to doing flips on the big vert. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah, that's
this
a
was the first
legendary.
dude.
I'd love to.
Yeah, he's
get
the
in
first
contact
dude
with
that
guy.
that I ever seen. Like none of the other bladers were going up to the big part. You know the part I'm talking about. Bladers. You know, if you were in Malali Park back in the day and you were skating and you weren't the super, you were just starting out, that wall, that main ramp that was at the end, the one that was full of fucking nails, that was poking out, like you could literally lose a hand on it. If you guys know, it's that big ramp. It was
Yeah,
the only big
Malali's
ramp.
back in the day was really
It
nails
was
and hammers.
gnarly.
Yeah, yeah.
It was gnarly because it was always changing.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
was.
really
It
big.
was always
It was
changing.
good. It was good. It got better now. Now it's 2024. They got a
Yeah,
lot of,
yeah.
it changed a lot. But if you were
It
there
definitely did.
during those times in Malali Skate Park, when it was like, I think red, that's as far as I can remember, when it was red and
Yeah, it
big
was red.
ramps
It was
and
green.
the
It was
death box and
blue.
all that stuff.
I remember.
That's so great that you actually
It
went
made
there.
men. That park made men. That's all I'm saying. If there was a
It
Bronx
made
stomping
men.
ground, like the main area, because it was a
Totally.
biker park, it wasn't made for
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
Yo, I got hit. You know how many times I took a bike to the face? I remember once spraining ligaments on my thigh because I tried to jump on the ramp and this dude like fucking he did like a bar spin manual and the peg hit me right in the face and sent me flying off the ramp. I think I was like 12 or 13 at that time, and I fell off, and the next day I couldn't even move my leg, and they took me to the hospital. I remember that shit. Like we've shed blood in that park, man. That park has a lot of energy in it. Like, if that stuff does exist, that park has so much energy put into it. It's not even. That's why I never closed. They tried to close that park so many times. That's why it's still there.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's like the only wooden, I don't know if it's still, well, yeah, it is wood, but I think that's like the only wooden skate park that's left out here. Like everything else is concrete and plaza, which I love. Shout out to all the plaza makers.
Fast forward. So what keeps you alive in skating? I know you skating here. And
Oh,
there, so what keeps you
it
alive?
wasn't always, well, after Malali Park, what made me happy, feet, I got to give a huge shout out to Carly Sanchez.
Okay.
Straight up. Because you know why? Because I'm going to keep, and Peter Ortiz also, because the both of them, they would come and pick me up. A Bronx local kid, they would just come and pick me up and take me places I've never been. I got to meet Aragon. I mean, not to mention Underground Skate Park. Shout out to Ramel and the whole Be Unique squad for locking down Underground Skate Park when they bought it, because that right there was like another stomping ground that was, I would say, even more powerful than how Malali Park was, because it was Blader owned, and that shit was awesome. Like it was wild. Like that was like that was like, whoa.
Wait, so
Whoa.
you went there when it was like actually new.
Oh, I went there before. I went there before Ramel owned it because I used to go with a neighbor friend of mine named Anthony, and his parents used to drive him everywhere. So I used to just tag along and yeah,
Oh,
let's
you
go
saw
to
it
this
from the
skate park.
beginning. Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Underground Skate Park used to be owned by a bunch of dudes. I don't remember their names, but yeah, but Carly, he used to come in. He used to just contact me. He used to call me. No chipping, no gas money, no nothing. Never asked a dime. Never even said it. Yo, heck, come, we out. Yo, heck,
Nice.
let's go. Let's slip. Peter Ortiz is another thing. He used to pack us all in his MPV, and we used to go places and session places that nobody really sessioned like that. Like
And
I
this is
got to
this
skate.
is the B Unique Skate Park is out in Brooklyn. So
Yeah,
you guys
being
used
in
to
skate
travel
park was out in
from the
Brooklyn.
Bronx to
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
yeah, that shit was Bronx to Brooklyn every day,
Mhm.
like religiously. I
And
even
for
got
people that
sick
don't
one
know,
day.
man, traveling in the city it's easy, but it cannot be easy at the same time.
Nah, it's not at all.
You
It's not
know
at all.
that
It's
you
time
know if
consuming.
y'all made it out traveling, to these local competitions, and you guys made it there and show face, that was like key. To be a
Yeah,
great
man.
skater like you are, you know what I'm saying, and doing all the beginning stuff, and learning from the best, from Malali's and going to Be Unique Skate Park a couple
Yeah.
years after that. Oh, we forgot about Riverside too. That was another
Oh yeah,
thing.
Riverside too was
Yeah.
definitely a big home. That's why I met Ra for the first time.
Hmm.
Ra Amazon was shout out to him, man. He
Yeah.
was a big influence because I always loved to hang out with everybody who was a huge influence. Like Victor Calendar, for instance, a huge shout out to Victor Calendar too, because Victor Calendar made a lot of things happen for people. You understand? He put a lot of things together. And also shout out to Jordan Baez too for putting together his team and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting
Yeah, for
blading
sure.
out there. Like
Skating is
I'm
good,
watching
most
everybody.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Another shout out to Steven Sin also, who's out there skating with the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Putting in work. I'm very proud of that kid. Cause I remember I used to come get that kid, a grown ass man in his 20s, used to come to that little kid's house. That kid was only up to my thigh, bro.
Yeah,
That's how tall that kid
he
was.
from Allerton
And I
too,
used to
right?
pick him up, bro. Yeah, bro. He's from my block, yo,
He
bro.
from the
I
block.
picked him up
Let's go.
as a little kid, bro. And I used to snatch him up from his parents, like, yo, he's gonna come skate. And he used to come skate, and we used to train him. Me, Lamar, everybody that remember Loso. Shout out to
Hmm.
Loso too,
Yeah.
because he's from the block too. You know what I'm saying? So we all together, like, we all like fed off of each other's energy, man. It was a beautiful thing. So you can't really say like nobody made anybody. No, we just made everybody aware of their potential.
Oh,
So you
nice.
can't say, yo, that's my son. Like I would never say, yo, that's my son. I taught him. No, 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 no.
Makes
Everybody
sense.
was aware of their potential, and now they're aware of the potential that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you can't just say, "Oh, I taught him everything." Not. Everybody's different. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody develops their own unique style in rollerblading as individuals. You know what I'm saying? But it all depends on the crowd you roll in. Is that crowd you rolling gonna show you your potential?
Hmm.
Are they gonna make it aware? You know what I'm saying? Because then, if not, then you're never gonna know it's there. You know what I'm saying? And that's
So,
why I love everybody that I've been around since I was young. You know what I'm saying?
as
It's
a
a
good
blessing. I
skater,
wouldn't change a thing.
you are. What's up with the competitions? Do you compete in the competitions? Do you attend?
Competitions? No, I never really liked I never really liked to compete. Like I know you see me compete a few times. Like I had a competitive drive when I was younger.
Hmm.
Like before I had before I got on flatline skate shop and all that. Like when I had nobody looking at me whatsoever. That's when I wanted it. But then eventually, I was just satisfied with my level of skating. Like I know I could do way more and I could ascend to higher. There's skaters that are. I just grew up watching the greats, and I love them, and I love watching them, and I like influencing them. Because
Hmm.
before I became all happy feet and all that, and people knew who I was just in the local skate park trying to teach every kid that I can, like, come learn skating, come learn blading. Like I tried to be so positive with it that I felt like the energy that I was giving off was a little bit much for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I'm happy that I influenced as many people as I could. But after a while, I felt like I was giving a little too much, and people weren't really hearing the message. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
things like that happen. But after a while, you just have to reflect and you have to sit back and think. Like. Sometimes I lose myself. I start rambling and I forget what you asked me, man.
So,
I'm just thinking
so,
about so many
so,
things.
what do you prefer? So it seems like you prefer like street skating rather than
Oh, I love it
ramping
all.
competition.
Anything that has to do with blading is awesome. Anything. Competition wise, I just don't like to compete because I'd rather influence the youth by showing off my skills and showing off how I progress. That's what I used to love about events,
Hmm.
because it gives you a chance to link up with everybody that you haven't seen in a few months to a year and see how everybody progressed. You know what I mean? But then eventually, a lot of people want to make things all about competition instead of progression. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember back in the day, they used to have jams where nobody competed. It just used to be everybody jamming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Skating and sessioning. Yeah, yeah. So that's the world I come from. You know what I'm saying? It was very competitive back in the day, and it was like violently competitive.
Fast
Like, you
forward,
think about
fast
it.
forward now, like you a teacher. You're an inline skater
Yeah,
instructor.
now I teach the youth, and that makes me happy, and it keeps me young, and it keeps me relevant in the rollerblade game,
Hmm.
and keeps my skating intact. Like, cause that was my worst fear. I've been doing it my whole life. Like, I gave my whole life for skating. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like I do it, and now I do it for fun. I don't work a day in my life now because I love everything I do. I love all my students.
Yeah, and
You
getting
know
that
what I'm
feta
saying?
and
They're
getting the
awesome.
fettuccine for doing what you love.
Yeah, and it's
That's what it
fun,
takes.
and it's fun. Yeah, I mean, it's a living, and it's fun. And then the private lessons and everything that comes along with it, and all the different connections and people you meet. You meet a lot of, guidance counselors and principals and coordinators and all these different connections that you meet. So it's pretty much, it's up to you, like what you do with it when it's there. When the opportunity is presented to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I try to do. I try to, you know, do as much as I can. But as far, I've been away for a while, and I know that I have, you know what I'm saying, just taking care of life, just taking care of what I have to do, mentally, you know what I'm saying? So that way, the next time I do come out and skate, it's going to be fun. Like, I'll have fun with it.
So you've been skating for over 20 plus years. Let's give it
Yeah,
take, right?
I'm 40, I am 41 now. So
Nice.
that means, yeah, I've been skating since 8. So yeah, no, 9 really, because I begged mom at 8, and then
From
she
from
got me.
spirits to RB, was it retros? You said.
Yeah, from spirits to, well, I had a few friends along the line that would lend me their skates, and their skates were way too big. I just wanted to try them, like
Yeah.
size 14 skates, this and that. But my first aggressive was those RB Deluxe. Like, you know what I
RB
mean? Everything else before
Deluxe.
that was like hand me downs. Like, I had a pair of chocolates too. I had a pair of RB chocolates.
Oh,
I remember having
we
them.
going way back.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I had RB. I remember having them, but it's just like I don't remember what happened to them. Like, in my mind right now, I had the freaking grind plates. I had the beautiful midgets. Everything was perfect. But maybe they were a hand me down. I even had oxygens at one point.
All right, Heck.
Like, I
So,
had.
Heck, what's your favorite skate video when you get up in the morning? Did you have a skate video coming out when
Oh yeah, yeah,
that was the
one hundred
thing?
percent,
We'll get
one
out in
hundred
the
percent,
morning and we'll put some motivational thing on
one
before we're
hundred
gonna.
percent. I can tell
So
you
what
right at
was
the
it?
jump without even thinking. Pat Lennon, leading the blind. That
Pat
used to be
Lennon
my favorite. Pat
leading
Lennon,
the
leading the
blind.
blind.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That used
That's
to
when he
be
does
like
that
I
the
used to see that
gaps and all that
shit.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Jumping all
that's when
that
he just
shit.
gets
I remember that
nuts.
video.
That's when he swings the little dog around. I was like, oh, he drops the dog. And he does that giant roof grind at the end. I just like dudes like that are just gnarly. I used to love it. Like, I used to love What Do You Believe In? You remember What Do You Believe In?
Well,
When when
there's a lot of skate
when
videos
John
out there.
Elliott. Yeah, yeah, John. It was like a mind game sort of John Elliott thing where they were like they were dressed up as a bunny, and all the bunny would be in the background. Shima was in the video too. It was called What Do You Believe In? And they were like, it was like they were running from the bunny, and then Shima's section, he had like a rabbit, a dude in a rabbit costume. It was
Okay.
weird, man. But it was all those videos are old, man. Like Dustin Latimer. Oh my God. Like,
Hmm.
just watching him and Coop the Tot and all those other videos, like they're just legendary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then being able to see my highlight though, really though, is holding it down. The one thing I'm really proud of one day when I went to Rye Airfield with Jacob. Jacob drove me down. Shout out to you, Jacob. He dropped me down to Rye Airfield, and Murder was having an event. It was Chris Cheshire. It was all these guys, and that was like my first out there. Like, I've never really traveled like that. I've never been to Woodward. I never got the invitation ever in my life. Like, never. I know a
Don't be
lot of
mad
people who
because
have.
I went to
No, no,
Woodward.
I'm
I
not
went to
wrong.
Woodward when I was in the age of 40. So
Yeah,
it kind of
that was a dream
shows.
of me. Yeah, it was a dream for me to go to Woodward's when I was a child. Like, that was the creme de la creme of,
Yeah, if you go,
of like
man,
everything. You know what I mean?
you're gonna have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
fun. The first thing I went
yeah.
when I
That
was out
place.
there, I went straight to the mega ramp and stuff like that. And I was with
Yeah,
Ramon. Ramon Knight was there,
yeah. I would
hanging
love
out.
to see what kind of potential a
Hmm.
person can, Yeah, yeah. Because it's crazy. That's like the adult playing ground right there.
Yeah.
Training ground. It's just awesome, man. I love that
So
stuff.
as an older skater, it's a lot different. Your body changes and everything, and injuries
Yeah,
are a lot
yeah,
different than what
yeah. You
do
feel it the
now.
next morning, a lot worse.
But we've been doing this since pretty much the beginning. But it's totally different from like the West Side and the East Coast and all that stuff. It's different skating. The West Coast and the South. They had these skate parks, and New York didn't have skate parks at all. So
At all, at
so
all.
we just tended just to do street, and if we see a ramp, we'll just pop off and go crazy. Cause I remember when I was a kid, I heard there was a street contest. I mean, like a rollerblading contest, but they at a
Hmm.
park somewhere in Queens and stuff like that. And when we got there, it was just a launch ramp, like literally like one or two launch ramps, no bigger than maybe 3 feet high. It was just like you do like a big 540 and you call it, you hit the rail, and pretty much that's it. That was the competition, and
Yeah.
but we saw that street and stuff like that. But street skating and other like West Coast and down south is totally different. So I think you know us growing up in that environment did reflect on a lot of people and stuff like that. And a person like you, straight street doing their thing, influencing people, and now became a teacher. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So and you influence a lot of people, and that is totally great.
Well, I wouldn't have heard about these jobs if it weren't for you and like teaching rollerblading. I remember the first people that I heard that were teaching rollerblading were you, Angelo Ferrer. Shout out to him too. I forgot him too. Shout out to Angelo too, because I remember when I first met him, he was the coolest dude on the planet, and he still is the coolest dude on the planet. Like, shout out to all the things that he does. I hope him and his son is great. I hope everything is good. Yeah, I hope everybody's good. Like, blessings to everybody, man. But yeah, like shout out to everybody. And I remember, I didn't know you can teach rollerblading. Like I was like, oh my God, I need to find work. I need to do something. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting older now. And when I found out you do it and Victor Calendar and Angelo, that's when I started like finding out who this Joel guy is. I'm like, hey, who's this Joel guy? Like, what's going on? And I remember my first substitute gig was for Ariel Saroon.
Oh,
He
you were
took
subbing
out
for
the
Ariel.
day. Yeah, I was subbing for Ariel, and I'm not gonna lie, it was the scariest day of my life because that was the day I watched this kid fly
Stepping
90
up.
miles an hour into a fence, and he clacked his tooth, and it was blood all over the place, and I was like, oh my God, what a first day! It was the most amazing. Of course, it wasn't my fault. Like it was like while I was there, but it was just like to witness that. Like, oh no, my first day, and this kid got a bloody face already. Oh my God!
Mm.
Like it was nerve wracking. But working with the children has been a blessing because it allowed me to provide for the family, allow me to pay rent. You know what I'm saying? And I thank all of you for opening that opportunity for me because I wasn't even aware. So that just goes to show that depending on who you're around, you know what I'm saying? They open up those opportunities and make certain situations aware. They make you aware of certain situations. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
So if I hadn't been around, like-minded individuals like you and others, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have known that this type of opportunity would exist. So that just goes to show, you gotta be, focus on who you're around. You know what I'm saying? Who you're around tells you a lot about yourself, and you know what I mean.
Oh,
And we've
dropping
had some
gems.
great
Okay.
times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've had some great times, Mike. Like I remember the first time I hung out with you, and we skated that skate park down in Jersey,
Yeah, we had plenty of
and we got
times.
snowed in. You remember we
Mm-hmm.
got snowed in the blizzard. We played beer
Yep.
pong that night. It was amazing. It was an amazing night.
The
I
skater
got to
life.
shout out to Kelly Matthews. I got to hold Kelly Matthews X Games medal. I'm like a
Mm-hmm.
fanboy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fanboy. I literally like almost died when I got to hold that medal, like an X Games gold like medal. Oh my God! Like
Yeah.
X Games is X
Super
Games is what we
relic.
had back in the day.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Only
What
a
did we
few.
really have besides skate videos? X Games. Oh my God! X
Mm-hmm.
Games. Ooh, I don't think there's that many Bronx skaters that brought home an X Games medal. Like if you want to break it down, who else brought home an X Games medal? Shout out to
I'm not
Kelly,
too. I'm
man. You
not
know
too
what I'm
sure.
saying?
I'm not too sure. But
Yeah, I
there's a
want
lot
to
of
yeah,
awards out there for
a
the
lot of
skaters.
awards,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
got NIS also. It was NIS. It was also the competitions in oh my god, how am I forgetting the name? Chelsea Piers, a skate park that I never got to skate. before they redid it. Like the Chelsea Piers that they have now is not the Chelsea Piers that it was back in the day.
Mhm.
To me, that was like an exclusive place. I was broke. I had no money to get in there.
Yeah.
I had no access. I didn't know
Don't tell,
anybody. I
don't tell
remember.
me you snuck into Chelsea Piers again.
No, 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 no. The closest I got was like the bench that was outside. That's the closest I got.
Yeah,
You know
I used
that
to
little
do that. I
bench?
used to do that bench too. That's
Yeah, I
that's crazy
sat
that
on
you
that
mentioned
bench and
that.
I just watched people and I couldn't get in. Like I didn't know. To me, I was timid. I was like, I'm not good enough to skate with these guys, you know, because I was always humble. Like I was like, damn. I was always like, let me get ready before I jump in there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I didn't want to embarrass myself. Because in those days, you know, I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. In
Yeah,
the
we
90s,
superstars.
if you had good skates on and you weren't good and you were around a group of individuals that skate, 9 times out of 10, they'll take your shit. Like you will get your skates robbed. Like
Yeah,
your
because
skates will get robbed.
you were from the Bronx, right? That's what it
Yeah,
was.
I guess because I was from the Bronx and I knew everybody. No, that's what it was. I knew everybody. So coming from
Bronx is a
that
different
background
animal. Yeah, I'll tell you
and
that, man.
seeing people get their skates stolen, it's
Yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
it'll happen to you. Like if you're a wreckery and you're rolling around in the 90s trying to look all cool in your new RBs or whatever, if you had a pair of aggressive skates, you're a victim. Like 100%. Like New York was rough. The
Yeah.
banks, Brooklyn banks was rough back in the day.
All right.
You know what I'm
How
saying?
does okay definitely let's go let's talk about more back in the day stuff. So you said
Cool, cool.
you said leading the blind. Is there any older videos that was jumping you off too besides
Let me
leading the blind?
see. Well, I used to watch all the Hoax. Like Hoax was my favorite videos. I remember I used to always wear Hoax 1, Hoax 2. I have them all on file right now and I can watch them whenever I want. I love the skate tricks where murder was in a movie that was like The Matrix, you remember? And it had Ray Mendez. I'm a ladies' man, a businessman.
Okay.
He's like walking all cool and shit in disco style, you remember? And the dude comes with the black car. Yo, that was the best. That was the best. And then
So
he started running over skaters.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
So your skating style. So how do you describe your skating style?
um, well, back in the day, everybody skated that way.
Hmm.
Back in the day, everybody did like it. There was a point in time in rollerblading that everybody was doing like 90 switch ups. If you go back into the skate video archives, you will see a point in time in the early 2000s where these fucking guys, everybody was happy feet. Everybody.
Mm.
You cannot survive in the game without throwing like 9 tricks on a rail.
Hey, so
I seen Murder do it. I seen everybody do it.
you want a lot of blade games?
Well, not really because I never played the Blade. When Blade games came out, I was already older and like little kids used to like the younger ones used to play it with each other and I used to just sit back and watch and judge.
Mm.
Like I remember that, like a lot of the kids in the skate park,
Straight spoken.
like Chris Diaz, all these other kids. Yeah, I remember them. But
No,
yeah,
you got a
man.
lot of switch ups going on. You like
Yeah,
massive
but that's
all
the
your switch
yo,
ups.
that's the way they
Very
used to skate
creative.
back in the
Very
day.
creative
So
on the
I
skate.
just stood with it because I liked it. I liked it, and it took me a long time to get to that level. And by the time I got to that level, everybody was just doing one trick, talking
Mm.
about yo, just do one trick, keep it smooth. I'm like, what? But I just learned all this fucking tap dance shit. So you guys are just moving on without me? Fuck that. So I just stood with it. I was like, I'm gonna stay in the early 2000s where everybody was doing like 90 switch-ups because I really liked it. I did some like crazy shit without even thinking about it. Like, you know, when you dig into the archives of your brain, you're just like, oh wow, I really did some shit oh man, wow. But yeah, man, it's just been a great ride. And it's not over. Like I'm gonna still skate and I'm gonna come out and skate again.
What's your current skate setup right now?
Oh, I still have the same razors that I have for a long time. I have them for about, and I have a whole bag full of nothing but sliders and plates and all that. Because during the quarantine, I thought the world was gonna end. And
That's
since
funny.
they were giving us all that free money, I was like, thank you for the free money. I am now splurging on every skate park that I could find. So I figured if the world's gonna end, I need to have my blades. You ain't gonna be able to shop for parts then, you know. So I bought a whole bunch of plates. But yeah, I got the razor. I think they're called Slimline. I forget the name. I'm out of touch. Let me see. Yeah, they're the ones that they're the slimmer ones. They're not the SLs because the SLs are too thick. So these are definitely slim. But yeah, these are old. These are very old. I've had the same boot for like 4 or 5 years already.
I remember
So
skating with you back in the day. I mean, you know, when I used to live up in the Bronx too, I used to live up in Allerton Avenue and Hall Avenue. I used to
Yeah.
live out there, and I used to go check you a lot. And
I remember.
the vibe when I used to go pick you up and stuff, we used to skate around the local neighborhoods. We'd be like, yo, we not
We
going
used to
that
have
far.
fun, bro.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Remember we used to bomb the hills?
But
Remember?
yeah, yeah.
Co-op City, all that. I remember.
Yep, yep. We just skate the neighborhoods, and we wouldn't like we just skate our neighborhoods like a maybe like a 6 block, 7 block radius around the
Yeah,
neighborhood
that's
and stuff
true.
like that.
That's true.
And we would just have fun and laugh and just kick jokes all day, but just learning all day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? And
true.
trying to figure out what's this and what's that and stuff like that. But we had a fucking good ass time, like just skating in the neighborhood.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
I think the coolest part about skating in your neighborhood, and the coolest part that I think is when you meet a person that skates too, but you didn't know they lived in your area.
Yeah,
Like you're there with your team, and then this guy just skates out of nowhere with skates, and you stop and like, yo, you got skate, or like say if you're skating in the city, and you bump into a dude that got aggressive inline skates. That happened once. Weren't you with us that day? Were you with us that day? I think it was me, Sammy, and we were all skating the city, and we bumped into this guy with rollerblades, and he had aggressive inline skates, and he took us up to his apartment. He's like, "Yo, come to my house, come hang out, have a few drinks." And me and Sammy were laughing so hard. And it was, yeah, I think you were there. Weren't you there?
not too sure. A little
Were you
blurry,
there?
maybe.
I'm trying to remember. So the funny part about it is that we went upstairs and that we were just hanging out, chilling, and he was just telling us about a whole bunch of stuff about rollerblading, and we shared it, and then we just left. But the view was amazing. Like that was the first time I was ever in like one of those Manhattan high-rise apartments. I was looking out the balcony like, holy shit! Like this is awesome! Like oh my god, look at the view! Like the view, you see all the buildings, all the fucking windows. I saw all Hollywood. I was like, hey, you know what I mean? This is awesome. You know, rollerblading got us this view real quick. You know what I mean? It was cool.
So
But yeah,
Hector,
I think that was the most exciting thing. Huh?
so where people can find you if they want to look for like lessons, if they want to have a skate session with you and stuff like that. I know you
Well,
mentioned Instagram
the
earlier.
only form of social media that I have is Instagram. Is Send Your Happy Feet. Like that's the only one I have at the moment. I do have another Instagram for my craft, but that has nothing to do with rollerblading. I
Yeah,
just do all my bracelet making there and tutorials. But
I'm
yeah, the
sure people want
Instagram
to
would
know
be the
what
only
what that
place.
is. You want to let people know what that is, right?
Oh, well, what I've been doing is okay, so it started, this is how it, well, I started making bracelets before the pandemic because a
Mm.
friend of mine gifted me a paracord bracelet. So I wanted to learn how to make them, so I looked into a bunch of tutorials on how to make it. Long story short, I learned how to make them. And since I teach my classes, I end up making a custom bracelet for all my students. You know, I size it up, make it beautiful. You know, I got a bunch of colors and stuff, put charms on it to make it look cool. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And it also started like in my area, like my son started wearing these book bags, like these Nike book bags, and they have like these tags, like how back in the day the kids used to put the Jan Sport strings on the book bags. So they start stealing each other's strings and fighting over them. They're banned in school. So I started making them, and I started just giving them out to all the kids in the area. Like, here, take these tags here, to try to like stop the violence in the area because these kids are fighting. Like
Hmm.
I had to take a knife. I had to take a knife from a child's hand. I literally had to take. I was sitting in the park making bracelets for the kids because that's what I do. I just make them and here, kids, have some bracelets, have some positive. You know, like just practicing my craft. And a child had a knife, and I had to take it away from him, and I lost sleep over that. So, you know, this is what I've been doing, like on the side, like as far as like my side hobby and stuff like that, like knife throwing. And
Yeah, we
I know
definitely
a
gotta
few
see
of you
them.
have been,
I'm
yeah,
curious how they
I know
look
you
right now.
guys just saw that. Yeah, but just the bracelet making and just doing positive things. That's pretty much what I'm trying to stay on right
Yeah, yeah,
now.
for
And
sure.
I'm trying to make these sessions, but it's just that I've been out of touch for so
I
long.
want a brolic
I,
friendship bracelet. Boom, say iced
I
out.
got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. So look, check this out. I don't know. Let me tell you guys the honest truth. I do not know how to keep in touch or how to keep in
Mhm.
the loop with rollerblading anymore. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like
Well, that's why
as
you
far as
on. You
aggressive
guys, that's
inline,
why you on a skate mob podcast right now because
yeah,
telling
yeah.
your
I
story.
don't know. Like I didn't know who to follow, who to search for, like
Yeah.
who's posting
Well,
the
tell
sessions.
everybody
I
about the skate
remember,
mob
yeah,
podcast. About to get it
yeah,
going.
yeah, definitely, 100%, man. Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't know
morning,
who to. Yeah, I didn't know. I'm
morning,
like, where's everybody?
morning. Session with Hector Rodriguez up in the building, having coffee. It's 11:50 in the morning, but I had to prepare and all that stuff. Let's go, Hector. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Definitely, man.
Shouts Hector. So if people want to follow Hector, follow him on his stream on his online platforms, Instagram. I'll post that up on the description on the all streaming platforms like iTunes, iHeartRadio, and all them other stuff. YouTube and all that.
Definitely.
You know, the video is gonna be up soon. Actually, I'm gonna put the video up of our last skate clips that he did, and it's gonna have the conversation on it, so you guys could tune into that to get to know who Hector is. Hector from the Bronx,
Yes,
from
sir.
from Allerton Avenue up here. Shouts out to everybody that was out in the Bronx with him. Shouts to Malali. Shouts to everybody. Third Eye. Shouts to
Yeah,
Ramel.
shout out to
Shouts to
everybody,
everybody
man.
out
Word
there
up.
that's continuing what they doing and progressing with the sport. And Hector, any last things you wanna give a shout out? Anything before we hang up this?
I just want to say shout out to everybody who helped me skate, and and everybody that's out there still skating that was around me back in the day. I'm proud of you, Stevenson. I'm so proud of you. A lot of you guys I don't get to see anymore. A lot of people I've lost contact with, but I'm still here, and I love all of you, man. And I will forever love rollerblading with a passion unknown to this earth, man. So I'm still that same guy. I still got mad love. You know what I'm saying? So if ever you guys want to contact me in session, I'm here. It's just that
Let's
I
go.
don't know how to contact you guys, so
Let's go.
I'm here.
Let's
Hit me
reach
up.
out.
All
The
right.
next skate video is gonna be popping with Hector. We're gonna be
Yeah,
hovering.
definitely. I already got a song picked out for my next video.
Let's go. Let's not tell everybody too much here. Let's go.
All right.
Yo, Hector, it was good talking to you. Let me put this outro button out here and we can be out of here.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Skate Mob Podcast. Stay tuned for more exclusive content coming soon. If you enjoyed the show, please show your support by leaving a comment, liking, and subscribing to all our social media platforms. Your support means the world to us. Hashtag Skate Mob Podcast. Peace.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Skate Mob Podcast. You want to advertise your next skate event or business with us? Reach a dedicated audience and increase brand visibility and grow your sales. Email us for rates and packages. Let's roll with Skate Mob. Now back to your regularly scheduled program.